Let's begin by creating the basic HTML structure for our project. We'll need a container for our animated background, calendar, and multiplication table. Open your preferred text editor and create a new HTML file. First, add the basic HTML structure with, and, inside the, add a tag to set the title of your web page, for instance, dynamic calendar and table. Now within the, create an element and give it a class of container. This will act as a container for all our content. Inside this container, add 3 more elements, each with unique classes: background, calendar, and table. Save this file as an HTML document, for example, index.html. We are now ready to add styles and make our elements come to life. Our basic HTML structure is ready. We will use CSS to create a captivating animated background. In the same directory as your HTML file, create a new CSS file. For example, styles.css. Link this CSS file to your HTML document by adding inside the tag of your HTML file. Now, within your styles.css file, target the background class using CSS selectors. Set the background color to your preferred starting color. To make the background cover the entire viewport, set its height and width to 100% of the viewport height and width using VH and VW units. To add the fade in and fade out effect, we will define an animation. Use the rule to create an animation named background fade. Inside this animation, specify the background color transitions at 0%, 50%, and 100%. Finally, apply this animation to our background class. Define the animation name, duration, timing function, and iteration count. We now have a smoothly transitioning background. Let's dive into JavaScript to create our dynamic calendar. Add a tag right before the closing tag in your HTML file. First, get the current date using the object. From this object, extract the current month and year using the respective methods. Create a variable to store the number of days in the current month using the method. Now, target the calendar div using its ID, and update its inner HTML with the current month and year. Create a loop that iterates through the days of the month. For each day, create an element. Set the button's inner text to the day number. To make each date clickable, add an event listener to each button that displays a simple alert message when clicked. Our dynamic and interactive calendar is now complete. Finally, let's generate the multiplication table. Within the same tag, target the table div using its ID. Create 2 nested loops, one iterating from 1 to 10, and the other iterating from 1 to 10. Inside the inner loop, calculate the product of the 2 loop counters. For each product, create an element and set its inner text to the multiplication expression and its result. Append each element to the table div. Our multiplication table is now ready. We have successfully combined a dynamic calendar and multiplication table with an animated background, all while keeping the content easily visible and interactive.